In this video, we're going to be talking about the importance of emotional intimacy and how to start cultivating it in your relationship. Hello y'all, welcome back to another video dedicated to help you break out of the cycle of toxic behaviors and relationships in your personal and romantic area of your life. Emotional intimacy is one of the things that people generally underestimate but don't realize how much it affects other issues in the relationship. If you look up the definition of what emotional intimacy is, it states that emotional intimacy is the deep sense of closeness and connection between individuals that go beyond the physical or surface level interactions. It involves sharing one's innermost thoughts, feelings, fears, and vulnerabilities with another person while feeling safe, understood, and accepted. This type of intimacy creates a strong bond of trust where both parties feel comfortable being their authentic selves without the fear of judgment or rejection. If you take a second to think about that definition, there are so many important elements of a healthy relationship encompassed into that definition. Trust, connection, boundaries, being able to be your authentic self. Emotional intimacy is an umbrella term, so there's so many different ways that we can express it. If you want specific examples, I'll be going over that in the end of the video. Over the years, as I work with my clients, I've learned to realize that there are a couple of signs that help me gauge whether or not someone has the capability of creating an emotionally safe space for their partner. These three signs will usually show up when they're communicating with their partner, which is either one, they fight, which means that they become aggressive, they become defensive, they feel uncomfortable with their partner's emotions, and so they attack to make the other person feel bad. And what this looks like is becoming defensive, downplaying, belittling, or invalidating your partner's emotions, telling them it's not a big deal, and essentially taking their partner's emotions personally and throwing it back to them. And the second sign is the complete opposite. They go into flight mode, which means that they start to withdraw, they start to avoid, they kind of go silent because they don't know what to say and they're really uncomfortable with the situation. And generally what ends up happening is that the partner that was emotional notices that the other partner is shutting down and withdrawing, and they will feel bad for sharing their emotions. In fact, they will probably start people pleasing and taking whatever they said back and trying to not make it a big deal to make the other person comfortable. And then the third response would be fawning. So what this looks like is people pleasing. It looks like trying to fix and find a solution for your partner right away so they don't feel bad anymore. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing that you're trying to make your partner feel better. However, you really want to see what space you're in when you're trying to help your partner. Is it coming from a place of genuinely wanting your partner to feel better, but still holding space if they do feel bad? Or more commonly, are you trying to make your partner feel better because them feeling bad makes you feel bad? And so in reality, you're subconsciously trying to make yourself feel better. And so what this looks like is apologizing right away, taking back your boundaries, trying to fix them, give them a solution, and change how they're feeling in the moment. If you or your partner is guilty in responding in any of these three ways, I hear you, and there is room for growth. And the reason why responding in these three ways is because we don't have a good relationship with emotions. If we grew up learning that emotions are bad, it's weak, it's a burden, it's not something that you should feel, then if it comes up, we will treat it as such. And that is why we try to push it away, we try to change it right away, we try to fight it. The key to cultivating emotional safety in a relationship is being okay to allow your partner and allow yourself to express these negative emotions freely without any judgment, without feeling the need to take your partner's emotions personally and make it mean something bad. Emotions at its core is just a way to express ourselves, right? We don't have to see it as something negative. We can see it as feedback. Just because someone is feeling bad doesn't mean that there's anything wrong, doesn't mean that you're wrong. For example, if you tell your kid, no, you can't have ice cream because you ate ice cream in the morning and too much ice cream is bad for you. They're feeling bad, they're crying in the moment, but it doesn't mean that you're wrong and that you should give them ice cream. That is a boundary that you should definitely still set. And the biggest mistake that I see people make is that generally when they feel these negative emotions, they immediately place meaning on it and tell themselves that it must mean that there's something wrong, it must mean that there's something bad and I need to change it. But that is not true. Emotions is just an intense sensation that you're trying to release and let go. And it is okay to create space for it to exist. It is okay to just allow someone to cry and allow someone to just feel upset without feeling the need to fix them or give them a solution right away. Validate someone else's emotions by just allowing them to feel bad. hold space for them, reassure them, and let them know that, you know what, this is okay, and I appreciate you being vulnerable in this space with me. And so the first step to creating emotional intimacy in a relationship is holding space for your partner to express some of these negative emotions without placing immediate judgment onto them. And if you're struggling and you're noticing that it's so hard for you to see your partner cry and become upset, then you really want to start thinking to yourself, how much space and capacity do I allow myself to express my own emotion? Your capacity to feel and meet your partner with where their emotions are at is dependent on how you allow yourself to meet your own emotions. And so if you find yourself shutting your emotions down whenever you're feeling upset, pushing them away, telling yourself it's not a big deal, I'll just deal with it later, or just marinating in your emotions and not doing anything about it, then this is what we want to work on. We want to work on that relationship that you have with your own emotions so that in turn it can reflect into your relationship. So some things that you can start doing is journaling. Listen to yourself whenever you're feeling upset, allowing yourself to feel your emotions without judgment, without pushing it away, and sharing your emotions and starting to become vulnerable in your relationship and leading by example by stating how you feel. Of course, if you want to work on building this emotional intimacy and cultivating a healthy relationship with emotions, you can book a call with me and we can work on that one-on-one more in depth. But if you have any more questions, comment that down below, and also comment down below how you respond to your emotions and how you respond to your partner sharing their uncomfortable emotions. But subscribe for more, and I'll see you next week. As always, you got this.